Yesterday, I received the weirdest email with the strangest video.
This is Kanai from the year 2070. I don't have time to explain the mechanics of how this all came to be, or why you were chosen. But I need you to trust me. I'm risking everything by sending you this. But you need to know, the future of humanity rests upon your shoulders at this very moment. You have T-minus 8 minutes to convince the class that you have best friends forever. I've included all the information you need to know in an, what are those things called again? Email. Be sure to use your best powers of persuasion. Remember, the future depends on what you do today. Oh my God. Good luck and Godspeed.
Please, Godspeed.
Clearly this was some kind of joke, but I didn't know who it could have been on or who could have possibly sent this to me because it came from my email. And so I read the email that I had attached with it, and I know I sound insane, but the more I started to think about it, the more it made sense. That it's true. You see, the fate of humanity rests upon our shoulders, for the relationships built within this class impact future society, technology, and quality of life. And I know you're thinking that I clearly sound insane, but if you just listen, I promise you'll believe too. So first, how it impacts society. According to the World Future Society Organization, the future just doesn't happen. People decide through their actions or inactions what happens. When the Beatles entered in 1964, they changed music in a way that no band has since. That is until the pairing of Jim and Kenny. You see, when Jim was giving his presentation about jazz, Kenny was really inspired, and he decided to somehow insert his uke with jazz. It not only influenced music, but every single person who has listened to it since, in a way that no one has since the Beatles. And then there's Audrey and Hallward. You see, Hallward really pursued his passion in plastic, and Audrey with whales. There was this huge explosion of plastic in 20 years that would have completely extinct the entire whale population. However, the two of them pairing up together not only made sure that this didn't happen, but also that the whales are still here for not just our children, but our grandchildren and our grandchildren after that, our great-grandchildren. And then there was Kaveh and Vasile. You see, Kaveh pursued her passion of sugar cookies, and it became one of the best cookies that we've ever tasted. It made Famous Amos taste like those really disgusting cookies that we used to get in kindergarten and we used to try to spit out because we didn't like them. But that wasn't enough, so she paired up with Vasile, who used her awesome cutting powers to make every single shape under the sun with those cookies. Their business is now worth billions, and they use their money to help fund projects such as technology. So this is my second point. According to Michiko Kaku, who's a physicist, he states, and this book was written in 2006, that given the advances in technology right now, things that have seemed science fiction will be possible in the next 10 years. This was written in 2006. So when you take it to the future, almost anything is possible. So Eminem was going through a really difficult time, and he was about to give up on music. That's when Emily entered in, and she inspired him by telling him how much he meant to her. Not only was he inspired to continue on with his music career, but he decided to show her about his project that he'd been working on, which was time travel. That's when she remembered Mouse Cop's speech about time travel. And not only that, but that he also had an interest in Eminem. So together, Mouse Cop and Eminem created what would become the formula for time travel, and not just that, but created the first time-traveling machine. Sadly, it was not a DeLorean, and I was disappointed, but we can move on from that. And then there was Robin, who's not here, and Tammy. So Tammy went on to inspire kids with dyslexia, to give them hope, to make sure that they know that they can accomplish anything they want to. Turns out one of the thousands of people that was inspired by her speech went on and was so focused in science, met up with Roman later on to create the formula for teleportation. Not only is teleportation possible, but it's tangible. And in the future, it is everywhere. And if that wasn't enough, our class also impacts the quality of life. Now, in a TED Talk done by Hans Rosling, who's a global health expert, he stated that there are 3 things that the UN is focusing on right now, which is health, gender, and education. And with this focus right now, in the near future, these things can help things such as infant mortality rate by impacting women to become better in their health and better in their education. So, this Michael, the one who's hiding, and Laura, decided to come together and focus on having people get out of their comfort zones and make sure they know what they want, and gender equality. This inspired women to get out there to demand what they want and make sure that they were heard. Not only was there a first female president, there was a second, there was a third, and over half of the Supreme Court are now women because of this. And then there was this Michael and Che Che. See, Che Che was inspired by the electric slide to create a dance program which became bigger than Zumba. And he noticed that people started becoming really well equipped, like physically. But then he teamed up with Michael, and that's when the PES program came in. So people not only became physically fit, they became emotionally fit because they were feeling better about themselves. Then they became spiritually fit through the power of dance and music. And finally, but not least, there's Bailey and Alex. Alex created a program similar to Facebook, but better, because she was so frustrated with how people were unaware of what was happening in the world. And this became one of the bigger sites. It is bigger than Facebook and Twitter combined. And now because of that program, everybody was able to know what was going on, not only globally, but in their own backyards. However, the government doesn't like this because it makes sure that people have access to knowledge. It makes sure that people can voice their opinion. So that's when Bailey comes in, and she fights for Alex's cause, and she says, you know what? You can't silence people. You can't tell them what they are or are not allowed to say or hear. Not only do they win their case, but they make sure that nobody is ignorant or silenced for what they believe in. And I know that this sounds silly, and it sounds ridiculous, and I think that comes more from the fact that this is a lot of pressure on all of us. Not me, because I'm not included in this, but on you guys, because this is really big, and to create ties and to keep these ties means a lot. So that's why I also brought friendship bracelets. You see, because when you're friends, you have to show them to people. And so I'm just gonna pass it around. But but here's the thing. These friendship bracelets are called princess bangles. They don't fit. They're not gonna fit you. I mean, if you have really tiny hands, they might fit you. Perfect. But chances are they're probably not gonna fit you. You know why? Because right now you're seeing this future in the present, and you're saying, this doesn't fit me either. I have dreams to be a writer. I have dreams to be a teacher. I have a dream to go out into the world. I'm not saying that you can't also pursue this dream. I'm saying that with a little bit of what you're going to do with your life, you're going to impact the world greatly, in addition to doing whatever else you pursue to do. And yes, this sounds like a lot of pressure, but it's like the Beatles said, I get by with a little help from my friends. Like, woo!